'Twas the week before the holidays, and all through the kitchen, hungry relatives were everywhere, and no one would pitch in. Then what to my wondering eyes should appear? 3 time-saving tasty recipes to calm all my fears. The first, cheap and quick but hearty, was this white chicken chili. The second were scrumptious pork sliders with flavors for miles. The last was such a stress-free crowd pleaser to make. What better way to finish than with a chocolate sheet cake? I fed everyone for days without emptying my piggy banks. Stress-free, affordable recipes for the masses deserve all the thanks.
Life can be a struggle, but a good meal doesn't have to be. We can make creative, nutritious, and inventive dishes that won't break the bank. We'll eat well and save money, because that's what we do. Welcome to Struggle Meals.
White chicken chili. This is a perfect dish that has minimal amount of time that goes into it to give you maximum amount of feeding potential. And you probably have most of the ingredients already because it uses a combination of frozen and pantry items. All you gotta do is get the chicken, get an onion going. Garlic. We're gonna go with a rough chop. Fire, oil, garlic. I always like to put the garlic after the onions. The onion can protect the garlic of the direct heat. We'll hit it with a little salt, hit it with a little pepper, oregano, and cumin. We got a really good base here, right? Oregano and cumin give you that warmth. Let's come in with our chicken thighs. Now, chicken thighs, dark meat, definitely more robust than breast, white meat. That means it's not gonna dry out. It's gonna be more forgiving in this long cooking process. So chili is cooked in liquid. When things are cooked in liquid, things can't get brown, which means there's less flavor. This is our big opportunity to get some color on that meat, because once we put the water, the temperature's gonna drop and it's never gonna happen again. Now I'm gonna give it one big stir, try to bring the bottom pieces up to the top. This is the perfect task to be doing when your Aunt Betty is chatting up a storm with you in the kitchen. It's really the perfect time to catch up because you have these little 45-second windows where you can listen to her stories and be in awe about the past. Chicken's looking good. Let's add in our other ingredients. We're gonna have some white beans from a can. They're probably in your pantry already. If you have 2 white beans and 1 chickpea, that's fine. Use the chickpea. Going in. Beans are a super affordable ingredient that have a long shelf life, and it stretches out the meat. Canned green chilies here. The canned green chilies are gonna bring some spiciness, a little bit of acidity. It's gonna be delicious. Some braising liquid, chicken broth, vegetable broth, water with a little bit of salt, just about 2 cups. Chili can quickly become soup if the water to solid food ratio is too great, so don't allow that to happen. So the chili's simmering. Now you've got plenty of quality time that you can go spend with your family. This has been simmering, and now it's time for us to finish it up with some frozen corn and cilantro. Now, frozen corn is delicious. We just need to warm it through. Corn going in. Look at that. We're getting some fresh color. Using frozen corn is going to save you a ton of time because you don't have to husk and you don't have to decob. And plus, there's no fresh corn in December. Giving us a nice little bright pop of color. Again, this only needs a minute or 2 to warm through. Cilantro, it's going to bring freshness. Here's what I think we do. We take it and we sort of fold it around and fold it again. And then you can just run your knife guillotine right through. Here we go. Cilantro coming in. Again, this is a flavor you want to put at the very end so that you can really capture the full freshness of this. The longer you cook the cilantro, the less fresh it will bring to the party. We need a little spiciness to make this a true chili. To the packet drawer, friends. 2 hot sauce packets. Whoa! It's really smelling like chili. So, I think we're done, but the most important rule in cooking is tasting before you give people the food. So, you make sure you've got a spoon in your back pocket. You go in and you say, how are we doing on the saline levels? It's perfect. Chili is wonderful because it's a complete meal in a bowl. You know, you can add whatever toppings you want, but it's pretty much done. This is gonna bring everyone together. It's not gonna be fussy to serve it. I mean, we've got everything we need in here. We've got protein from both legumes and animals. We've got some vegetables. Just leave this on the stove. It'll be warm. Even if it cools slightly, that's fine. Sour cream is a great option to put on top. It looks beautiful. It smells great. It's only $1.45 a serving, which is exactly the kind of bang for buck we need at this time of year when spending is already high. Let's taste it. Get a little bit of corn, get some bean, get some chicken, and of course, a wee bit of sour cream. Yes! The chicken, texturally moist and delicious, taking on the flavors of the cumin and the oregano. Really, really hearty. The broth seems extra flavorful, and I think it's because of those chopped up chilies, which are bringing some heat, but it is not overbearing at all. This chili brings all the heft of a classic chili, but I love that it's made with chicken and stuff from the freezer and the pantry, because more likely than not, you have 80-ish% of the ingredients to make this happen right now. And for me, that's an awesome recipe. It comes together quickly, it's warm and comforting, and it's great for feeding a big group. When I return from the outdoors, this is what I want to be eating. Cooking for a crowd can be a lot of work. Save yourself some stress and make planning easy with a buffet today. Short on platters, track cutting boards or sheet trays. Need more utensils. You could use a coffee cup or 2 spoons or other kinds of cups. You're resourceful. Resourceful. And finally, remember this. You're already the chef, and that's a lot of work. So let the table be the server and your guests be the dishwasher. Happy holidays. More recipes that you can use to feed the fam coming up right after this. If you're looking for a dish where you put in minimal amount of minutes cooking and gives you maximum amount of flavor, I've got the perfect sandwich to solve that problem. It's super hands-off. It's the Cubano slider, inspired by one of my favorite sandwiches of all time. I've adapted this recipe to feed a whole crowd on a struggle budget. Let's get some aromatics together. So we are gonna start right here with a little bit of oil, about a 1/4 cup or so, okay? I'm gonna come in with some chopped garlic. So we've got some oregano right here, boom, 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 and we've got some cumin. Struggle whisk 7500, coming in for the win. All right, so we bring that together. Already aromatic, lovely, wonderful. I've got a pork butt, B-U-T-T. Where does it come from? The shoulder, obviously. This is an affordable cut of meat with a whole bunch of fat and connective tissue. You could use bone-in or boneless pork shoulder. It doesn't really matter, whatever you can find. We're gonna cook it for a long time. It's gonna break down. It's gonna be mouth-wateringly delicious. So let's hit our butt that comes from the shoulder with some pepper. And we'll hit it with some salt. Hit that in there. We're putting garlic, oregano, and cumin. We're gonna rub this in. These are gonna give us, really warming spices that work really well with a fatty cut of meat. Just give that a little rub. That was like 120 seconds of work. Yes, this takes many hours to cook. However, it's hands-off cooking time, and that's what's perfect about this dish. This is what makes it great for a crowd. Now I'm gonna wash my hands. This is a must. Now we're gonna add even more flavor. We've got an onion here. We'll cut it in half, and we'll 1/4 it. We can just go straight in with that. Boom, boom. We got some limes here. We've got our garage sale zester. So we'll come in with some lime zest. So important to have contrasting, bright, zesty flavors with such a fatty and unctuous cut of meat. Okay, so let's cut all of our limes in half. Let's squeeze these in with the help of the Citrus Extractor 4000. You just stick that right in there and give it a little wiggle, and that's gonna help you really get deep into the fibers. I think the best part of the Citrus Extractor 4000 is that you could enlist the help of all kinds of cousins to do this. I mean, you probably have multiple Citrus Extractor 4000s right now. No number to call, no fees to pay. Orange, pork, delicious combination. So we'll just cut these guys in half. Citrus Extractor 4000 will come right in, just try to give it a little wiggle. The limes and the oranges are gonna give us all these bright flavors that balance out the fattiness so beautifully. Let's get some chicken broth in there. It's gonna break down. It's gonna be mouth-wateringly delicious. And we put a very nice hat on top of our pot, turn it to low, and that's it. This is gonna cook all day, like 7 hours. But does that mean this is a 7-hour recipe? No, because you're not working for 7 hours. This is a really good work to payoff ratio. So now we've got a whole bunch of hours, which means you get to spend quality time with your family. Then we're gonna have an awesome sandwich. It's been a really great day with the family, and now everyone's really hungry. Thankfully, our pork is ready, so let's shred it. 2 forks. You come in with 2 forks, and you just start pulling the meat apart. Now, I would leave it in here because as you pull the meat apart, it's gonna reabsorb even more of the liquid, giving us even more of that mouth-watering fantasticness. This is perfect to set up buffet style. That way everyone can put exactly what they want into it. Remember, this is a recipe that I adapted from a pressed sandwich. We can't be pressing individual orders when everyone's hungry and they want to eat now. And that's what makes this buffet setup ideal. So we're gonna come in with a slider bun. Traditional Cubano has boiled ham, Swiss cheese, braised pork butt, pickles, mustard. We'll come in with our braised pork butt. You create a little bit of a barrier with that bottom bun. I mean, this is gonna be wet and juicy, and that is a delicious thing. A little bit of red onion. We'll go pickle. Hit it with some yellow mustard. So that's it. I mean, really easy. You get your ingredients out. The only thing that takes time is the braising of the meat, but the actual hands-on time was very, very small. Once the meat is cooked, this thing assembles really quickly. It looks great. It's $2.37 a serving, and I can't wait to take a bite. Here we go. Definitely mouth-wateringly delicious. And you got that pork butt, it cooked a long time, it's warm, it's juicy, you bite into it and it just explodes, and then you're hit with the waves of other ingredients. It's both bright and fatty at the same time. I love that like flavor stretching right there. Minimal minutes put into it. This is the perfect meal to feed a crowd. Everyone's gonna love this. Stay tuned, because I got even more meals that are easy to put on the table for the family. It's time for a struggle challenge. Let's see what you've got for me today. Help! I have family coming to stay with us for the holidays and need something to serve for brunch that isn't eggs. Any ideas for something special that isn't too time-consuming? Well, let's open up that fridge and see what you got in there. Doo-doo! Eggs. All right, we got walnuts. We have some fromage and some beurre. Frozen dinner roll dough. Could be an opportunity here. Let me see what else I can find in the kitchen. I found butterscotch instant pudding. Combining that with sugar and melted butter, I feel like all around these dinner rolls in a pan can create a sticky and fantastic situation. Like sticky buns. Simple. You know, we can throw some walnuts in there too. I better get started. You know, we go with one of these. Also, I'm thinking sticky non-stick surface, probably good, bundt pan. Let's melt this butter and we'll turn that on. We're gonna have a lot of sugar. Things are gonna be baked, non-stick spray. Lots of it. We just go with these walnuts right here. And this is gonna be the top of our sticky bun cake. So let's get these in there. This is the dough for dinner rolls. But if we add sweet things to them, they become sticky rolls. This is really easy. You don't have to measure anything out. They can still be frozen solid. They will rise. It's a beautiful thing to do the night before brunch. Do leave a little bit of room on top. We got our pudding mix. It's gonna be fun. Some brown sugar, light brown sugar. There it is. Oh, cinnamon. I'm just gonna pour this over the rolls, nice and even. We got our melted butter. Going around, get the edge. Oh my God, it smells like Cinnabon. So now we just need to make sure we cover this so it doesn't dry out through the night as it's rising. And I'm just gonna hit this with a little spray too. All right. You see how easy this is? You just throw a couple ingredients together, almost no utensils, and that's it. You just let it rise on the counter. You're gonna have an awesome meal tomorrow. I'm off to bed. I had a great night's sleep. I'm about to make a cup of coffee. But first, can we just talk about how much these rolls have risen? Look at this. All right, so it's risen. It's clearly pushed to every point of the pan. Between these rolls, we're gonna have sweet and fantastic butterscotch, cinnamon pudding, sugar flavors, and melted butter. All we gotta do is bake it off. And while it's baking, I'm gonna make me a cup of coffee. Going in, bada boom. Coffee time. This is a good cup of coffee. You know what it needs? Some sticky buns to dip into it. Ooh! You could let this cool down for a few minutes before you flip it. Here we go, this is a big moment. We've got to do the Spanish flip. We're gonna just, oh, wow! This is an easy 10 on presentation. You know, the thought of putting the walnuts in first so they would be on top, the fact that gravity did its magic and all the sugary stuff came to the top and created this like dark brown syrup. I did not expect that to be like that, and I am so pleased. So now we gotta break it apart and sort of see if it breaks along these natural faults, and it looks as though it does. I mean, it definitely smells like a cinnamon bun. That is very good. This is really good. I cannot give it a perfect 10 on flavor because I know there's a whole bunch of places I can improve, mainly being in the dinner roll part, even though these are really tasty. So I'm gonna give it a 9.5 on flavor because you could go make your own dinner rolls. You would, however, be wasting an enormous amount of time. It's a 10 on looks, it's a 9.5 on flavor. That means it's a 19.9. The night before with minimal ingredients, a quick bake in the morning. What more could you possibly want? I present to you the crown of breakfast. Coming up next, we've got a dessert that's the size of Texas, and that means it'll feed everyone. Chocolate sheet cake. It's the perfect dessert for a large crowd. Some people call this a Texas sheet cake because it's the size of Texas, AKA very big. Easy to make? Of course. Let's do it. We start with some water in a pan. We're gonna come in with a whole bunch of butter and some cocoa powder. Bring this together. We'll come back to this. Over here, we're gonna put together our dry ingredients. A sugar, all right, flour, a little bit of baking soda. Give us a nice lift. Just a pinch of salt. Gonna mix these together. Important to get that salt to really be diffused evenly. You know, when all the ingredients are the same color, it's easy to think that they're mixed, but just give it a good 45 seconds of dry ingredient mixing time. All right, so our chocolate mixture and the butter has melted. So what I wanna do is just give it a little mix. And now we're gonna pour this into the dry ingredients. Combining the wet with the dry right now. I like a rubber spatula for something like this because you can get those sides in. Nice. Egg. So sour cream is gonna go in. This is gonna bring tang. It does a similar thing to buttermilk, which is great in baked goods. That looks good. This is our sheet tray. We're just gonna pour it out. And this is a giant cake. You're gonna get so many pieces out of this. And there we are. Into the oven, 350 degrees for 20 minutes. Can't wait. Woo! This smells great. While the cake cools, let's make some frosting. So we're gonna start with a pan. We're gonna put in cream and we're gonna put in butter. Okay, so we've got our various states of cream. They are making beautiful music together. We're gonna throw in some chocolate chips here. Butter's melted. So butter is gonna go over the chocolate. And what does this make? Well, this makes a ganache. I'm telling you, they are musically inclined. So we've got a ganache now. We are gonna turn it now into a chocolate frosting by adding cocoa powder and lots of sugar. So here we go. We got powdered sugar. All right, that looks good. So let me grab my cake. Let's do this. My cake is completely cooled, and now we can dress it with our frosting. Just gonna try and spread it into a thin layer now. Chopped nuts. I got pecans right here. So there you have chocolate sheet cake. Who's ready to dig in? You start in the half. You have the half, and this ensures that you've got eyeball equal sizes. This looks great. 49 cents a serving. Let's give it a try. Does one eat sheet cake with a fork? Wow. The cake itself is actually not super sweet, so the icing is playing a really nice fa-la-la. Rich and delicious. So we've got a super decadent, delicious chocolate cake. It's easy to make. You can cut it into a gazillion pieces, which means you can feed it to everybody. And it's posh. I love the nuts on top. I can't think of an easier dessert you could make to feed the whole family than this one. We filled all their bellies, and it really wasn't much work. Spending more time with family is the very best perk, but we did it without stress or crazy spending. Hooray! 3 easy meals for a crowd just saved the holiday. Welcome to Frankie's Corner, where I attempt to fix your quandaries. How can I make crock-pot meals more interesting than they are? I lose layers of different flavors no matter what I cook. The crock pot is convenience, but when something is convenience, you lose something else. In this case, variance in flavor and texture. I say make your crock pot meal and then get something crunchy on the side. I'm a big fan of fried shallots. You put that on top of any crock pot meal, it's gonna be better, I guarantee it.